So coming up, our next session is titled Smart Cities Are Supply from the Underground. We're delighted to welcome Mr. Dominic Johan, Head of Market and Operation at Cargo Souterrain, who will be presenting virtually. Cargo Souterrain is an innovative underground transport system designed to efficiently move goods between cities. It reduces traffic congestion and environmental impact, optimizing logistics, improving supply chains, and enhancing urban livability. So let's welcome Mr. Dominic Johan to the virtual stage. Let's give him a warm virtual round of applause. Hi, Dominic. Can you hear us?
Thank you very much. I can hear you really well. I hope you can hear me too. Good Friday afternoon, everyone.
Yes, we can hear you. You may start now.
Thanks for the kind invite to this fantastic conference. I've really enjoyed the Smart City Forum so far, and I found many touch points of our mega project that we want to do here in Switzerland, to what previous speakers alluded to so eloquently before. What is smart? What is a smart city, and why are the Swiss people that are known for mountains and chocolate and watches worried about this? So I wanted to tell you that the idea here was born over 10 years ago in the Swiss Association of Retail. The largest retail companies of Switzerland were looking for a better way of transporting goods across Switzerland to their supermarkets than by polluting diesel trucks and congested streets with low reliability of being punctual. And the rail system, which is not apt to handle the need for ever smaller shipments in a continuous way. We have a great rail system in Switzerland. We know how to build tunnels in Switzerland, but we needed something new. And let me give you a few facts about Switzerland before we get started with more details on Cargo Souterrain. Because you need to understand that Switzerland is fairly densely populated. Not many people know this, but 2/3 of our total population live in the so-called Midland region, which covers only 30% of Switzerland's surface area. And we have lots of lakes and mountains that we need to get to, a little bit like Hong Kong. And while the density is a bit smaller, we have a lot of industrial production here in the same area as well. So, sorry, I was going the wrong direction. So now what's happening in Switzerland is also that we have a lot of forecasted growth of freight transport until 2015. There's a 31% freight transport growth forecasted for Switzerland for this exact same small region. And if you look at the trend of ever smaller pieces of goods being transported, this ton kilometers of 31% would actually result in over 40-50% of transport kilometers that will be going on our surface infrastructures in Switzerland. So here is the map of Switzerland, and this is the planned tunnel infrastructure that we want to build. And why tunnel? You know, we were listening to Ricky just before. Why don't we just put all of this stuff up in the air? Well, we want to transport 50,000 pallets with an average of 300 kilograms per pallet every day with this system, just the green system from Herkingen to Zurich, which really is the supply, the main route of supply for our main city of Zurich. That would mean that we'd have about 100 to 150,000 large drones in the air every day. That won't work, but also what won't work is the security and safety of it. And the tunnel also has a lot of advantages because of it being a dedicated system just for freight transport. It is not prone to natural disasters or human disasters that we've heard Gilles talk about earlier. It is completely safe under the ground and will transport safely the supplies into the city. We can also build on the economy of scale that we're building here for Switzerland, that we hope to connect to our neighbors who have a lot of interest in the same system as well. We will benefit of the Industry 4.0 advantages. We build everything from scratch, so we have no legacy to worry about. It will be fully automated, integrated, and digitalized. We need to digitalize not only what happens in the tunnel, but we're also already starting to digitalize what happens on the surface before we go into the main hall and after we supply into the cities. So how is this possible, building so much tunnels, building so much infrastructure? Well, it's possible because not only the main retailers of Switzerland, but also our national post system, our main banks, the Swisscom, which is our main telecom company, the assurance companies, everybody is here to support us as investors, but also many, like the airports and other many big players in the construction industry are here in a larger consortium as investors, but mainly also to give us technical expertise to get going. And we've heard about multimodal, flexible, available around the clock systems before. Ricky has one of those. We definitely want to see our hubs also be vertical hubs. And you can see there that we're also planning to have drones, of course, for the last mile into the cities. But as we're transporting so much goods, and as we want to take the strain off of our infrastructure on the surface, we're also needing on the surface those electric trucks that we're already deploying today with some of our large retail companies that we're orchestrating the transport for as we speak today. Important to understand that this is a system that's very different to the supply push system that Professor Chiara talked about. This is really a pull system because we are transporting continuously small units of freight into the city. And hence our idea is that when you pick up a fresh salad from your supermarket, that will give the digital signal to the farmer of that same salad to cut the next one. And within a few hours, you will have the salad again in your supermarket, transported across the tunnel, which is congestion free, and therefore will make sure that you get the freshest possible salad. So we can move from push to pull with this system of small units. By the way, one of the main advantages of the system is because we're transporting only small units down in the tunnel, we can sort the pallets in the tunnel. So we don't need a distribution center to sort pallets and sequence pallets to go into the last mile distribution. We're already active. We've heard about smart stations before. We have smart stations as well already active in the city of Zurich. They're the first provider-neutral smart stations for pickup and delivery. We're also doing emission-free trucking for our retail customers already into the city of Zurich as well. And as we orchestrate those last mile deliveries, we have way less pollution, way less emission, and less kilometers. We have more than 20% less kilometers that we do, and we have more deliveries per stop that we do in the city of Zurich. Now, how is all of this going to be financed as we're trying to build 72 kilometers of tunnel? Switzerland has done this before, right? Our largest tunnel, rail tunnel, is 57 kilometers long through the Gotthard, through the Alpine Massif. And here we're building 72 kilometers with the first leg. We want to get the permit in 26 and start constructing already in 2026. That means all of our plans are already in a very advanced stage so that we are just fine-tuning it so that we get the permits for construction. We're a privately held company, and all of this is privately financed through the consortium that you saw before. And we will need 3.6 billion Swiss francs. Take it as a 1-to-1 ratio to the US dollar, but a little bit more in US dollar to construct the first leg of 72 kilometers. If we want to finish the 400 kilometers across all of Switzerland that I showed earlier, then we need 30 billion in total. We have a big advantage in Switzerland because we have been taxed as a future critical infrastructure by the government, and we have received from the parliament our own law to build and construct the necessary infrastructure as we deem necessary. Of course, we need a permit for it, but it's a permit from the federal authorities, not from from all the communal and cantonal authorities that we have as well, which is very special and unique in Switzerland. Now, verticality is what we need to talk about when we talk about smart cities, right? We don't have enough surface space, so we need to go vertical. One of the main advantages of our city hubs, but actually all of our hubs, is that we can go vertical. You know, logistics are known for horizontal spaces. Everything you do is on the first level. Well, because we have already a vertical mover system, so we move the goods vertically, we can actually also deliver in and out of our hubs vertically. And so we have a vertical setup for our hubs, which takes a lot less space than traditional logistics, and we can deliver from our tunnel in the middle of the city, which gives us another advantage of not having to go through the congested commutes in and out of the cities. So, in a nutshell, what does this system do? Today, freight transport must share the roads and rails with passenger transport, and passenger transport, rightfully so, takes the advantage. So there are traffic jams. In Switzerland, we have a ton of traffic jams that will get more and more, and they lead to delays and make planning difficult for our retail customers. And we depend on public infrastructure and regulations. There's a lot of regulation for street vehicles. We have nighttime driving prohibitions. We have a heavy vehicle fee. We have Sunday driving prohibitions. All of that will not apply to our dedicated infrastructure under the ground. It will be much more reliable. We can run it around the clock, and it will be efficient as an interface with other modalities of transport. And it will be fully automated, so the amount of manual labor will be dramatically reduced. I don't know if you know this fact, but in Europe, in 2 years from now, there will be 2 million truck drivers missing, and that the autonomous driving on the streets will still take much more time to come because of safety regulations that still need to be developed. We are also here to shift the paradigm to smaller units and to create the Internet of Logistics, or the physical internet as other people like to talk about. So we enable the continuous transport of small goods, direct delivery from place of origin to point of sale, without the need of distribution centers. We cover much smaller surface, as I said earlier, and we have the ability of capacity smoothing, so to have less peaks, and definitely not during the passenger traffic peaks. To sum it up, we think that our project is an infrastructure project that will help the environment, that will increase the quality of life for the people living in Switzerland. It will have way less noise and emissions. The noise reduction is actually 50% and more. And we have less congestion in Switzerland. And you know, last but not least, we're building a privately held infrastructure that is profitable. This is new. In Switzerland, none of the large infrastructure, the rail or the street, are privately held and privately kept up. And we will have that paradigm shift done for Switzerland from cargo souterrain. So that's it from my side. I hope I caught up a bit on time, and I'm looking forward to the panel and the discussion.
Thank you very much, Dominic. We'll see you in a bit during the panel discussion.